Have you ever wondered what would happen if you could travel back in time and meet your own grandfather? It sounds like an amazing adventure, right? But what if you did something, maybe even by accident, that prevented him from meeting your grandmother? If they never met, your parent wouldn't be born. And if your parent wasn't born, you wouldn't be born either. But if you were never born, how could you have gone back in time to stop them from meeting in the first place? This brain-twisting puzzle is known as the grandfather paradox, and it's one of the most famous and fascinating problems in theoretical physics and science fiction. It highlights a major logical contradiction that arises from the idea of traveling into the past. At its core, the paradox asks a simple question: can you change the past? If you can, it creates a chain reaction that could erase your own existence, which then makes your initial act of time travel impossible. It's a classic chicken and egg problem, but with time machines and your own family history at stake. So how do scientists and storytellers try to solve this mind-bending riddle? Well, there are several popular theories, each with its own incredible implications. Let's dive into the most exciting ones. Number 1, the Novikov self-consistency principle. First up, we have the fixed timeline theory, also known as the Novikov self-consistency principle. Imagine time is like a river, flowing in one direction. According to this idea, you can travel upriver into the past, but you can't change the flow of the water. Anything you do in the past was always part of history. So if you went back to stop your grandfather, something would always prevent you. Maybe you slip on a banana peel right as you're about to intervene. Or your time machine breaks down just a block away. Or, more subtly, maybe your very presence is what caused your grandparents to meet in the first place. You could accidentally bump into your grandfather, causing him to spill his coffee on your grandmother. They start talking and the rest is history or history. In this version of reality, the past is unchangeable. You can't create a paradox because the universe won't let you. Free will is an illusion and everything is predetermined. You are just playing a role in a story that has already been written. Number 2, the multiverse or parallel universes theory. But what if you don't like the idea of having no control? That brings us to our second theory, the multiverse or parallel universes theory. This is a favorite in many sci-fi movies and comics. According to this idea, when you travel back in time and change something significant, you don't alter your own timeline. Instead, your action splits reality and creates a brand new, alternate universe. In this new timeline, your grandparents never meet and a version of you is never born, but you, the time traveler, are safe. You still exist because you came from the original timeline where everything happened as it should. You're now a visitor or perhaps a permanent resident in a new reality that you created. The original timeline you came from remains completely untouched. So you could go back and prevent your grandfather from meeting your grandmother, but all you've done is create a universe where you don't have a counterpart. Your own existence is preserved because you're from a different branch of reality. This theory solves the paradox by saying you can change the past, but it won't be your past. It's the past of a whole new universe. Think of it like saving a document. You can open an old file, make changes, and then save as a new file. The original document is still there unchanged. Number 3, the timeline destruction theory. Next, let's explore a more dramatic solution, the timeline destruction theory. This one is a bit more catastrophic. In this scenario, changing the past creates a paradox so severe that the timeline cannot sustain itself. The logical contradiction you existing to make a change that prevents you from existing causes reality to collapse. The universe, in a way, self-destructs to resolve the contradiction. It could be that the entire timeline ceases to exist, or maybe it just reboots to a point before the paradox occurred. This is the ultimate don't mess with time warning. It suggests that the laws of physics have a built-in safety mechanism, and the consequence of breaking the rules is the complete erasure of that timeline. It's a bit like dividing by zero in mathematics. The result is undefined, and in the case of time travel, it leads to cosmic chaos. There's also a less common but equally intriguing idea called The self-healing timeline. Imagine time as a flexible fabric. If you go back and make a small change, the timeline will try to correct itself. It heals around the change to ensure the overall outcome remains the same. So, let's say you prevent your grandparents from meeting at that coffee shop. The timeline might then arrange for them to meet a week later at a bus stop or through a mutual friend. The universe has a sort of destination in mind, and it will find another path to get there. Small details might change, but the major events like your birth are protected. The bigger the change you try to make, the harder the universe has to work to correct it. It's a cosmic course correction, ensuring that history stays more or less on track, no matter how much you try to meddle. It's like the universe hitting the reset button, making sure everything stays on the right path, no matter how much you try to mess with it. If you like this video, subscribe our channel for more, and don't forget to click that bell icon. So, which of these theories is correct? The honest answer is, we don't know. Since we haven't yet built a time machine, the grandfather paradox remains a thought experiment, a puzzle for physicists, philosophers, and dreamers. It forces us to question the nature of time, causality, and our own free will. Think about it, if the fixed timeline theory is true, our entire lives are predetermined. If the multiverse is real, there are infinite versions of ourselves living out every possible choice we could ever make. And if the timeline destruction theory is accurate, then meddling with the past is the most dangerous thing anyone could ever do. The grandfather paradox isn't just a fun sci-fi concept. It's a profound question about the fundamental rules of our universe. It challenges our understanding of cause and effect and opens up a universe of possibilities. Whether the past is set in stone, branches into infinite new worlds, or fights back to heal itself, the journey to find out would be the greatest adventure of all. If the multiverse theory is legit, just think about starting a whole new life. Right, how wild would that be? Imagine if you could go back in time and stop something huge, like World War II. What do you think would happen? Maybe another disease would pop up and wipe out entire continents. Crazy, right? It makes you wonder how one change could lead to a totally different world. What do you think? If you had a time machine, would you risk it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more mind-bending explorations. In our next video, we're diving into the experiments done so far to prove these theories. You won't want to miss it. Catch you later. Stay tuned for more.